All right, there we go. So anyway, hello Vanya, good to finally meet you. And yes, why don't you tell me a bit about your Dieffenbachia?
So this is Elijah, who's right behind me. I'm on my laptop right now, so I know it's a little bit difficult to see, but it's quite tall.
Hmm.
Um, I'm about 5'7", and I feel like it's
Oh
a little
wow,
bit taller than
that's
me,
that's
but it's
really
also
tall Dieffenbachia.
it's also on a
Oh,
stand.
a little stand there. Okay.
Yeah, a little stand, but very tall. I've had him at least 4 years. I
Hmm.
know, like within the first year or two, I contacted you, and we have a photo. It was so small back then, and now it's. I moved into this space about 2 years ago,
Yeah.
and it's a beautifully lit room. It's like a southeast facing window, and I
Mhm.
really feel like Elijah was like, "I love this corner in particular," and it
Well,
shot straight
certainly
at.
speaking to you, saying like, yeah, it's looking really happy right now.
Yeah, and I was a little bit concerned at first because I'll show you down here at the bottom.
Hmm.
Um I don't know if you can see, but
Yeah, I see some little sprouts coming out there, right?
I have some sprouts, and I noticed that the main, like, it was thinner down here, the main stalk, and then like as you get to the main part of the plant, the stalk
Mm,
is
it's fatter,
it's
right?
very, very thick. And then these three little sprouts came up, and they didn't look like leaves, and I looked it up online, and they're flowers.
Oh yeah, yeah. They come right out of the main stock. Yeah, can I take a look there?
Yeah, so this one is a little bit of an older one.
Hmm. Nice. Yeah, that one's definitely like a finished one.
Finished one, yes. And then we have our third one right here. Let me get another better angle.
Nice.
We have one right here,
Yeah.
another one right here. And I was like, oh no, it's growing baby corn. And I actually have another flower about to pop up right here too. I don't know
Mhm.
if you can,
Can you tilt
right,
the camera a little? Yeah, yeah, nice.
right here.
Okay.
Yeah,
So they
and
just kind of like
so
come, they just kind of come off the side and then kind of, say hello on the side while other leaves are still growing out the middle, right?
yes.
Hmm.
And the plant has gotten so heavy that I feel like I don't know what to do about like rotating it or making sure that all the leaves get like enough sunlight. But
So basically, it's been in that corner right there for the
for
past
two
2 years
years,
since you've been
and
living here.
it's so tremendously happy in that corner.
Yeah, 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 definitely. Because so when you say southeast facing, then that means the sun actually hits the window and lights up kind of like the entire room for you. And
Exactly.
that's why the plant is gathering all that light from basically
Yeah.
bouncing off everywhere. Yeah,
Okay.
really nice.
Yeah.
So what happens is when the Dieffenbachia gets to that size, as you know, you saw the little pups coming out.
Yes.
Um, one that my parents got is actually from an even larger plant, like even larger than what you have there. What happened was the owners had done some air layering, which is where they kind of like, well, they did it in a kind of funny way. They surrounded the base of the plant with like a little metal can that they cut in half so that they could kind of wrap it around. They put some soil into
Oh,
it, and
okay.
in within that soil, the stem, like the plant stem itself, started to push out some roots into that new soil. And then
Okay.
after a couple of weeks, then they just cut it off clean. Like they just cut it right off and then replanted the whole plant lower. And then they gave me the base stump, which is what I have now, right?
Okay.
So
Great.
that's one option you could do. Um, Now that is a much riskier process. Uh, the other thing you could do is sort of like, now I don't know if you want to do this because all these propagation techniques are all about like it's going to be like a major change in the
Wow.
overall structure of the plant, right? So you've got to,
Sure.
that's why it's important to talk these through.
Yeah.
The other thing you could do is cut your plant in the middle, half of it, then take the top piece. So like let's say 3 feet up above the soil level, you
Okay.
you cut it cleanly off, right? Now you're gonna have a top piece that has like the top half of the leaves. You're gonna rip off maybe like the lower, like I almost want to say you just want to rip off the lower leaves until there's maybe about 3 or 4 leaves left on the top, and then take that top chunk, put it into water, let it grow some roots. It'll take a couple weeks, and then put that into soil, and then the base piece you can just leave it and it'll continue growing out of the top.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
However, the growth won't look quite as, even and big as the leaves that are currently there. They're going to start off small and then grow, bigger and bigger. Just like the pups, basically. It's going to make another pup on the top.
Okay.
So that's
Yeah,
another
it's
thing.
very top heavy. So I have
Yeah, totally.
like a headband, and I like cut it in half, and so it's like, sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So you're like kind of
And I have
supporting.
it on I have it on a metal
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's
stick
perfect.
right
Yeah.
here because it's leaning. In fact, it would have. I like dreamt that it was gonna like land on top of me, so I had to put the stick there.
Oh yeah, no, that's totally fine. And actually,
Okay.
that's exactly what's, I mean, I would say expected of a Dieffenbachia that old. It's gonna, like, if you don't do that. I have seen one. I'm gonna see if I can find a picture, but where they must have not done that, and like the pot's here, and then
Yeah.
like you see the stem go like this and then come up like that.
Oh,
So
wow.
I mean, that's what yours would have done if you didn't put a stake there.
Okay.
Yeah, but either way, it's okay. They keep growing.
I'm so glad I got to talk to you about this because I thought about how I could possibly propagate this, and cutting it 3 feet above the soil sounds very daunting to me. But
Mhm.
I mean, I feel like at this stage, this is getting a little bit too out of hand for me.
Yeah. So I mean, basically, what I'm saying is like, whatever you do, the first thing we have to acknowledge is that it's going to drastically alter the structure of your plant. And
Okay.
I sort of, I'd rather, instead of thinking of it so traumatically like that, I think of it more as like, like a metamorphosis, like a caterpillar turns into a butterfly. It's like,
Okay.
your plant has reached this stage and it's the biggest that it can be at this stage. And now it's time for you to sort of like dictate what the next chapter of the life will be, right? So as I
Okay.
said, you can either make it into like, okay, we're going to split into two. So we're going to take the top half, make it into a smaller cutting, put it in
Sure.
soil, and then
Okay.
the bottom half stays with new, like the bottom pups coming up like that to make a smaller, bushier plant. Or you can do what my friend did, which was air layer the bottom, where you kind of make air layering is sort of like forcing the stem to make some roots at a point on the stem that normally doesn't have roots, right?
Okay.
So I would do that maybe just above where those little pups are. And then once the roots, then you cut it cleanly off the top, leaving just the pups at the bottom and a big fat like main stem. And then the top part of the plant, you probably again have to rip off some of the older, like the lower leaves, and
Sure.
then pot those into a new plant. And then what will happen is you'll have your main pot will have the main stump with the little pups, and
Mhm.
then your new plant will be, excuse me, a almost like like your current plant if you rewound it like 2 years back, meaning a little shorter.
Yeah. 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 Okay.
That's
That
sort
makes
of
sense.
the two options that I can see when I look at your plant.
Okay. Wow. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no
And
problem.
congratulations on the new book too. It's on its way to me. I don't have it
Oh,
yet.
thank you. Oh no, that's really nice. Yeah, and definitely let me know what you think.
Yes, I will. I will definitely send you photos, and I'll give you updates.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. That's sounds great.